Alright, so starting this out in the garage because it's really windy, and for some reason I guess every road tractor in the tri-state area has decided to drive past my house today. I mean, we always get a lot of road tractors, but this is getting ridiculous. I had a comment the other day talking about my audio, which after my kid had made me watch a video like maybe a day before the comment, I realized that when I'm doing my editing and adjusting the volume, I have my earbuds in because usually everybody's sleeping, and so between the volume control on the playback and the volume control on the laptop and everything else, it sounded good to me at like a 40% downgrade, which evidently is not right. So I'll try to fix that this time, but I suck at this, so that's just how life is. Today's video is, I've been looking for small garden tractor. Like, I really want an old school garden tractor, but evidently everybody thinks those things are gold plated unobtainium because the prices for a junky one, not like a restored or a really restored, but just horrible, looks like they dragged it out of a barn in the North 40. Prices are crazy. So, trolling marketplace as one does, and I find a guy, he's got 3 Craftsman GT 6000s. One's a DGT 6000. That's like from the early 2000s. The other 2 are GT 6000s that are from the mid 90s. Not the most ideal, but 2 of them. So all the engines run, is what I was told. 2 of them I've seen run. The other one was basically coming with it as a parts, but oddly enough, the parts mower tractor thing is in better shape than the other 2. So we're going to play around with that one today. Where was I going with that? But it was $600 for all 3. I didn't think that was too bad, like I said, based on prices of stuff that I was finding. 2 of them have 50-inch mow decks. 1 of them has a 54-inch mow deck. All 3 of them have Kohler V-twins on them. It's pretty much all the same family. I believe it's all the the Charlie Victor 730, 735, something like that. 2 of them are 24 horse, 1 of them is 26 horse. They're hydrostat. I didn't really want a hydrostat, but at this point I've been looking for several months, and at my price range, it just wasn't worth it. I know I just said my price range, and I know I was complaining earlier about a toddler making a bunch of noise. That's what I got, a toddler making a bunch of noise. I was complaining earlier about the prices of some of the older tractors, and yeah, these need a lot of work. They're junky. I only buy the best. I know that's going to be a lot out of pocket. Most people that have any intelligence are going to tell you, buy the best you can get for the amount of money you have available. That way you don't do stupid things like me and have to put seats on them and have to put tires on them and stuff like that. Thing is, with 3 of them, it's given me the opportunity. I can keep 1 with no mower deck down in my field for when we start our small garden next year, and I should be able to pull smaller single point implements, maybe even put a sleeve hitch on it to do some like pull behind powered implements. A second will keep a mower deck. I don't know if I'm going to keep one of the 50s or if I'm going to move up to the 54. And that will be to mow out parts of my pathways and trailways and stuff like that that are just too small for my Massey and bush hog to get to. Third and final one, if they do all run and drive, can be a toy for my kid to play around with. I'll take the deck off of it, he can just drive it around, it won't be a big deal. So, let's go look at the junk pile I bought.
What junk?
As we walk over, this guy's for sale too, by the way. So this one here, I know runs and drives because we drove it up onto the trailer and then I drove it back off of the trailer later. It has a 50-inch deck. It needs, well, the hood is holding it in place, but it needs a total exhaust system. That is rotted out and fallen off. This one is the 2000s one. It has the bigger engine, and the guy already put ag tires on it. But every tire is just dry rotted and needs to be replaced, so none of that really matters. This one would start. He was describing it out before we tried starting it. It basically, the carburetor was gummed up. You had to run it on full choke to keep it running. So we go and try to start it, and it won't take up any fuel at all. It only starts with on a spray can. So that one I know probably the little there's a little plunger on the carburetor, turns the fuel off, and those things tend to stick up, so that's stuck. The other thing that's really wrong with this, other than the fact that it looks like somebody rolled it down a hill and it's all broken, the fuel tank is cracked under the seat, quality with a K, and they're out of production. My thought is with this one, since it is the 26 horse, this is the one I really want to stick down in the field to do gardening duty stuff. And what I'm thinking, I have a small aluminum tank. I'll just gut the plastic one out from under here, build some brackets, come back and just mount the tank behind the seat, and that'll give us a tank. I mean, it's not like it really matters. Back to that first one I showed, he put oversized tires on it. Those are 24 12/12s. The rest are all 23 10/50 12s. And then this one here is the parts one. Oh, this one has some wiring damage, and not like because you left it out and uncovered and the rodents got into it, but like somebody decided to stick a string trimmer in there and just cut all the wires off. It's odd. I don't get it. This one though is supposed to be parts. He said he bought it to use with that one, and he drove it to wherever it was where he was keeping these in the yard, and it stopped working. It stopped driving, and he said he's pretty sure it's a drive belt. Said somebody else came to look at it before I bought them. He crawled up underneath it and said, yeah, it's a drive belt. I haven't crawled up underneath it. I looked at the hydrostat in the back to get numbers off of it. The drive belt's still attached. But I didn't check the front part of the drive belt, so I need to do that. They all need to be cleaned. They all need to be painted. This one's got a good sized dent in the hood. Maybe a squirrel jumped on it. I don't know. But this one is the one we're going to try to get up and running today, because the back tires actually hold air. The front tires don't hold air worth crap, but the front tires on that one do hold air. So switch them over, and I'll probably thinking about doing a custom exhaust on that one, since the mufflers are out of production on it. It's twin flange bolt up. I can't think right now, but they each exhaust port on the cylinder head just has studs or bolts go into it, and everything. I figure I can come out, come down, and come up like a crazy tractor stack on there. Oh yeah, and I think on this one, yeah, this one's the one with the black one. Yeah, the PTO engagement switch is snapped off. Yeah, so that, I only buy the best quality. This is the best of the best. Everything is top notch for sure. It's mint, little rubbing compound and some jets. So switch over to the other camera. Yeah. Doesn't happen as much as it used to. I used to live near Naval Station Norfolk, and I grew up before they moved all the jets to Oceana. So, you know, you learn to read lips pretty easily. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with today. We got 18-wheelers making more noise than anybody wants, and they're doing the test flyovers, and my kid is knocking everything over. It's going to be one of those video days. So you have to deal with the crap video, and the crap audio, and the crap noises in the background, because it's all crap. It's fine. We're going to change over to the other camera. I'm going to get moving on stuff. I got to take... yeah, I'm no good at this. I'm going to take... I put a battery in... Let's see, where are we at? I put a battery in that one there, so that it would run and drive. And so I'm just going to steal a battery out of that one, put it in the other one, and see where we can go from there. I mean... worst going to happen is it blows up. I'm not really, I don't care really. I should care, but I really don't. So that's where we're at. Well, that was kind of a bust trying to get it to start. But learned that the clutch interlock works fine. I just got to be smart enough to use it. Or I guess technically on this, it's not a clutch interlock, it's a brake interlock. Dang mosquitoes. Would not start on spray ether, but it did start poofing a little bit out of the exhaust. I did not have an air filter on it, so I'm just going to assume that with the buildup of junk that was kind of underneath the lip of the air intake, it probably has some rainwater built up in it. This is from one side. It's crispy, it's black, but it's not totally destroyed. Will the camera focus? Come on, camera. Play nice. Nope, okay. The other side, however, there we go. It's super lovely. It's really nasty. And it smells, you can see the wetness on it. Smells like fuel, so that's always a plus. Probably only runs on one cylinder, and that's why it's a parts unit. But I'm going to clean these up with a file and a brush and crank the engine over a few times just to see if anything is stuck in those cylinders. You know, if anything got sucked down, kind of air it out a little bit, and start back up from there. Okay, so started looking at it. Cleaned up spark plugs, did the same thing, pulled the spark plug out, checked for spark, and got no spark. So I'm just kind of going through stuff, checking. Here's something previous owner did. I always love this. Ran the ground in red because, you know, it's just what they had. When I got down here, it's grounded to the block mount here. It was completely loose. They've added another ground right here, so that explains why this particular one has two grounds. One factory comes out the side, and this other one comes down here and comes over to this side of the chassis. Oh, they got another wire that's grounded, and it's got an inline fuse holder in it because, you know, you always put fuses on your grounds, and it just goes here to, you know, the module block. We've got mix match screws. Got another ground situation. Comes off this screw, comes over, comes here. Wonder if this thing wasn't getting good connectivity. Now, I tested it with the meter already, and it was doing pretty good. It got good continuity through it. It wasn't crazy, and it surely wasn't broken. So now it's just figure out, you know, why, and, you know, looking through all the mixed matched hardware and unnecessary wires and things of that nature. I'm going to leave this one. There's a good chance these two guys are coming out. Probably this guy too. I don't really understand what it's there for, and from the looks of things, this guy back here is grounded to a piece of plastic because, you know, plastic conducts electricity. So that's, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think I'm still filming over there. Look at that. All right, so I said before there was no spark, so I pulled both of the coils off, and they were super rusty, as was the pickup on the flywheel. Little sandpaper, little wire brushing. This bolt, I was surprised came out. I thought I was going to have it stripped, but I got lucky and tapped on it and turned and everything else, and it worked. And and that's a replacement bolt. The one that came out was pretty messed up. More mix match bolts. This is an original, should be, let's say, a 6mm stud. They had the wrong nut on it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit it with a little bit of that. All right, let's get the kid off of the deck. Come on, stand up off the deck. And now that the camera's on, it will not run, but it did just a minute ago. Oh. Let's see here. And try. No, don't turn it that way. Let's see here. We'll try to choke it this time. There we go. Doesn't sound too bad. A little bit of smoke. But not bad. I think we got a runner. That's pretty cool. So officially, well, once I get the carburetor fixed in that, I have 3 runners. Well, that must be picking up fuel, because that seems like a really long time to run for just a quick shot of ether. Huh. Okay. Can't complain about that, I guess. All right. 1 down, 3 to go. It's time to start ordering parts. Everybody have fun. And as you can see, it is now in a different position. And no, I didn't move it. It's a new day, but the delivery people dropped off my direct from China, straight out of Amazon, carburetor, tune-up kits, all that good stuff. So I went ahead and started putting it back together a little bit, just so I get the carburetor on it and test it. And it fires up, it runs, it goes forward and reverse. I did find, so this one, the guy said that it threw a belt. He thought it threw a belt. Somebody else looked at it, said it threw a belt. The drive belt, excuse me. Said it threw the drive belt. I pulled the cover plate off. And the drive belt's still on there. I don't know how good you can see it with sunlight, but the drive belt's still on there. And so I was starting to get a little nervous. I was glad my stuff came in today. And so pieces came in, put it all together, and she fires up and drives around. It's not great. It's noisy. It's cackety. The PTO does work. It was a little finicky. It wasn't working at first, but then it kind of just magically fixed itself, so that's always good. So now that it functions, I already drove it around the yard. I even tested it. It mowed pretty well. I mean, it needs new blades, but the fact that it still worked and everything was pretty good. Like I say, this one, it's twin, and that other one all came together for 600 bucks. And so far, I've now got 3 runners, 1 mower, and $1 million worth of tires that need to be replaced on them, because they all need tires. Let's see here. I got a front end upgrade kit on the way. Just hasn't been delivered yet. I'm trying to decide on some tires, figure out what I'm going to do. My kid picked New Holland red, so this will get painted red. And My wife picked up some foam and some outdoor fabric. She's going to try to make a seat cushion. Probably not going to be super fancy. I told her we could just put some eyelets in it and maybe just lash it in with some roping. You know, it's just got to hold your butt and be a little bit more comfortable than the blow molded plastic. I am going to have to take apart the steering assembly because I'm pretty sure all those bushings and stuff that wear out are worn out. But yeah, we now have it running, driving, ready to go. So that's pretty good, not bad. So far I've got, I think with the 2 tune-up kits, the battery, 2 tune-up kits and the battery in this one, not counting a few miscellaneous odds and ends that are just sitting around the garage, about $100. It was like $25 a piece for the, it's like 25 bucks for the carburetor kit, 25 bucks for the filter kit with spark plugs. And then I want to say the battery was like 50 bucks, 60 bucks, something like that. It had to be around 50 bucks. 2 batteries were just under $100. So yeah, I got about $100 in it. It's going to run me probably another 50 bucks for paint. And like I say, it's going to be another, you know, $250 for tires. Plus I need to get blades for it. But the belts are actually in pretty decent shape. And like I say, everything works. I'm surprised. So that's a good ending for this video, I think. All right, everybody get out and have fun.